Hi, I'm Shanti and I'm the head of campaign and strategy at Adore Beauty. Today I'm going to be taking you through my top 5 foundations for oily skin. And if you'd like to see more videos like this one, subscribe and hit the bell icon below. When I started in beauty, the first thing that I started to learn was really about how my skincare impacted my makeup. So something that I thought was really important to note is that if you do have oily to combination skin, don't be afraid of hydration. Usually you go for things that are, and I've tried all of these, oil-free, not moisturizing, mattifying, like just keep putting powder on powder on powder on powder. None of that stuff's actually gonna work unless you hydrate your skin, because oily to combination skin is naturally dehydrated. So even though, yes, you've got excess oil production, don't neglect hydration. One of the things that I do before I apply my makeup is I start with a serum, and I wanted to show you my favorite serum because it's something that's really helped balance out my skin. It's the SkinCeuticals Hydrating B5 Gel, and it's a very nice kind of watery consistency, goes on really easily and absorbs really quickly. And I usually use that first before my moisturizer. And I've just recently been using a primer. I know that sounds crazy because everyone's meant to be priming, but I always used to think that primer was just like, the industry is trying to sell me another product and I don't need it, until I actually started using a primer and it made a huge difference. One of the things, if you work in an office and you get to like 3 o'clock and your face looks like it's melting, start using a primer. It actually makes a huge difference. The one that I use at the moment is called Napoleon Perdis Autopilot Pre-Foundation Skin Primer, and it's like the OG of primers, from what I'm told. Prime, hydrate, make sure that your base is good before you start putting on your foundation, because without a good base, you're really not working with a good base. That doesn't sound right. Without taking care of your foundation base, your foundation's not gonna sit right. So I'm gonna take you through some of my favorite foundations, and these are all foundations that I use and that I love. They're all different price points, so there'll be something that you can afford, according to your budget. I'm gonna start off with the one that I like to wear on an everyday, which is Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown Skin Weightless Long Wearing Foundation. It has an SPF 15 in it, but don't just rely on that SPF 15 for your SPF concerns. Make sure you're wearing an SPF, because SPF 15 is not strong enough. But this foundation is available in 43 shades on Adore Beauty, so everyone should be able to find something right for them. So it doesn't actually feel like you're wearing anything. It's a really nice natural matte finish. It's buildable, medium to full coverage. And just so you know, the foundations that I'm going to be talking through today are generally medium to full coverage because that's the kind of finish that I like. It's $72 at Adore Beauty, so that's kind of probably at the higher price point. That's probably the most expensive that I'm going to talk about today. If you do have oily skin, you'll definitely be able to empathize with this during the day. And when you do look at yourself in the mirror, it's almost scary. You start to see shine, you start to have makeup slips, your makeup starts to move. This won't move, and it will make sure that you look absolutely natural always, which is what you want. You don't want it to look like you're wearing a big cake face. Definitely recommend this if you work a full 9 to 5 job, or even more than 9 to 5, because this will get you through the day. So the next foundation that I absolutely love is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup. It is probably what I would recommend to use if you have oily combination skin and you're going to a special event. This is the most flawless base that will get you through the night or the day. It is medium to full coverage, more so full, I would say, and has a beautiful matte finish. I'm actually wearing it right now. This one is available in, I think, 61 shades on Adore Beauty, so you've got a variety to choose from. It has an SPF 10 in it, but again, this one is not enough SPF, so don't just rely on your foundation SPF. This one's really good for special occasions because it actually photographs really well, which is why I've chosen it for my wedding day. Makeup artists tend to use Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup all the time because of that beautiful, flawless finish that photographs really well. So the shade that I wear in Estee Lauder is 5W1 Bronze, and just so you know, that's kind of like a caramel deeper tone but has a golden undertone. So if you've got like a warmer undertone, that's the kind of shade that you go for. If you're wearing the Bobbi Brown long wear, the shade that I'm actually wearing is golden. It can be quite hard to find foundations because they generally do come with a pink undertone. So if you are a golden undertone, Bobbi Brown's your go-to, because that's my go-to. So should be yours too. If you're on a budget and you can't afford anything that's around the $50 to $70 price range, I would definitely recommend trying the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation. It comes in 40 shades, I think, 40 shades, and is specifically for normal to oily skin. This one is a lighter formulation, which means I find that it's a little bit more medium coverage as opposed to full coverage. But I definitely recommend this for every day. I would definitely recommend using a powder to set. I generally use this with a makeup sponge instead of a makeup or foundation brush. The reason being is that because it is a little bit watery, I tend to like to press it into my skin as opposed to kind of dot it around my face. I find that because this one is everyday, it does kind of glide over your skin in a really flawless way. So with the thicker formulations, they set quite quickly, I find. This one doesn't do that. So if you do take time with applying your foundation, you've got a bit more leeway with this foundation because it doesn't set immediately. I am the shade 330, which is Toffee Caramel in this foundation.
All the medium shades are like foods. The white ones are like flour.
No, it's always like, yeah, sand, medium beige,
snowflake.
and then you get to mine and it's like fudge, caramel, chocolate, nougat. And it's like, okay, I'm eating my foundation. So now I'm going to talk about some powders, because if you do have oily to combination skin, generally you'll have some sort of powder foundation in your arsenal. Is that even a word? My two favorites that I go to is the MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix Powder Foundation. This is the shade C7 for me, and it's available in something like 42 different shades. It's buildable to full coverage. I prefer this to set my makeup when I'm on the go, so I generally keep this in my handbag, and I use it to touch up just my T-zone, because that's generally where I get shine. So this is perfect for on the go because it does have obviously the mirror in the compact and a little sponge. So my favorite shade is C7. Has like a golden undertone. Again, it's kind of like a caramel. The next and the final one that I'm going to talk you guys through is Makeup Forever, and this is the Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation. I wear the shade 415 Almond, another food. I think this is available in like 10 different shades. It's a bit of a lighter powder compared to the MAC one. It provides full coverage, but this one I actually apply with a foundation brush. I don't use a sponge. So if I am setting my makeup, so for instance, if I am wearing the Maybelline Fit Me, this is the powder that I will set it with, just doing kind of like a light dusting. So this one's my favorite on the go, and it's $54. And this one is what I use to set my makeup before I leave the house. And this one is $67. They'll both last you a really long time. I think I've had this for over 6 months because I'm just using it to kind of dot. You don't actually use a lot. And then this one, because I'm just kind of doing a light dusting, this one will last me a really long time as well. I generally use a translucent powder, and I usually use that under my eyes because I don't need extra coverage under my eye. Generally, if you put like a powder foundation underneath your eye area, it does look a little bit cakey and it starts to dry out. So I use a translucent powder under my eyes, but then I use a powder foundation where I need more coverage. So this is my favorite translucent powder. It's from IT Cosmetics, and it's called Bye Bye Pores because that's literally what it does. It gets rid of your pores. This is the one that I use underneath my eye area, and I find that it's incredibly invisible. I mean, it looks white, but it definitely is translucent, and you can use it on all different skin tones. So this one I think is around $40, but yeah, definitely recommend it. So some tips that I have to make sure that your foundation stays on throughout the day. I apply my foundation with a foundation brush. My favorite one is Real Techniques foundation brush, which you can find it on Adore Beauty. And I generally use that to like press into the skin. So when you've got oily skin, it's really easy to kind of move the foundation around your skin if you're doing it in motions like this, and it tends not to sit into the skin. So take the time to press the foundation in so that it's actually sitting in the skin. Always finish with either a translucent powder or a foundation powder. Powder basically just sets the entire liquid foundation, and make sure that your makeup lasts a lot longer. If you do get 3 o'clock oiliness, because that's definitely a thing, don't go in with full coverage powder foundation. Just do a really light dusting because you'll be so surprised at how much a little bit goes a long way. Just really lightly dust it. And remember, whenever you're using a foundation powder, I learnt this. Actually get the powder and don't go straight to the face. Tap it. Always tap, because there's so much excess that your skin will not need, and then start to apply it in really, really light motion. So I'm doing it right now. And then you'll see it just actually makes a huge difference, and you don't need a lot of product. It also helps your product to last a lot longer, so you don't need to keep buying it as regularly. And don't forget hydration. Hydration is key, and don't forget, if you don't want your face sliding off by the end of the day, make sure you prime. I think the only person that's going to watch this is my mum. So thank you so much for watching. If you do like this video, like it, as in literally like it. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comment section below. Ask me anything, oily skin, skincare, foundation, whatever.